hardware to the 21st century classrooms has totally made it more engaging for students. They've been crying for something so that they don't get bored in lessons, but does it actually answer the problem that employers have when they're looking to hire students graduating out of school? The number one thing that employers are looking for in this day and age are creative problem solvers. Well, look no further. Adobe brings you the toolkit ready to be able to engage and develop and prepare your students for creative problem solving. Good evening, Adobeans. My name is Georgina, and I'm currently living and working as a primary Google Learning Management Systems coordinator in Cairo, Egypt, as well as teaching a Year 4 class. And I'm also a certified Google for Education trainer, as well as a certified Microsoft Innovative Educator. So why do I want to add Adobe Education Trainer to the skill set? Well, being super passionate about digital innovation and wanting to redefine education in the classroom directly, it's really important that in order for us to make that change happen, that we're able to inspire that change with fellow educators first. So being a trainer enables me to do just that. And Adobe Cloud, which surprisingly enough, I just found this week, actually gives me the perfect toolkit because it's that final piece to my skill set that really answers creative problem solving with all of the apps available. So I'm really excited to start my learning journey with the Adobe suite. And I really want to become an Adobe trainer so that I can inspire others to use these tools as well. So I've chosen the Adobe Premiere Rush CC app as the tutorial for today's session on creating a creative digital project. And we're going to be taking a look at a few features of Rush that could be used to edit and enhance our creative project. One project that I've already started to create. And this would actually be a very valid point for a teacher in the middle of the week or in the middle of the unit where students have now collected all of the data that they need to create their creative project. And they need to go ahead and start the editing process and production process. So we'll go ahead and take a look here from using the mobile app. I've already created the data and added it in here. You'll see that I've already started to make some basic add-ons, additions, such as an ending and a title at the beginning. But it definitely needs some reworking. And these are the types of tools that you are going to be needing to understand how they work and be able to facilitate that with your students in the class. So it's important that we understand how everything works. So first of all, I noticed that there's way too much information in here. One of the really nice features with the Rush app on the mobile device is that you can keep recording, even if it's not the version that you want to keep. You don't need to go back to the home screen and start recording fresh again. You can just click the record button and it will take you through until you have the version you want. So we'll go ahead now and we'll remove the ones that we don't want, the files. So right away we have two options. On the left-hand toolbar, you can use the trash can and click delete and it will remove that file from your timeline. Or you can use the delete button on your keyboard and it will also remove the file from your timeline as long as it's highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead here and remove the ones that I know that I don't want because I created it, including awful pictures like that. Definitely not going to make money off this lesson. Okay, and finally, we definitely need a video in here. You have other media stored locally on your hard disk that you would like to add into this creative project. So let's say in a different lesson, students have gone ahead and collected other data on different devices. As long as it's stored locally where you're using Rush, then you can import it. So using the plus button on the top left-hand side, we're going to click on Media, and we are going to go into desktop where it's stored locally. Because Adobe Rush stores everything in alphabetical order and we are working with Adobe products, that makes it really easy for me to find my item quickly. And I'll go into the project folder, and I know that I'm going to be wanting to use these files here, so I'm going to use Command and select them all, and you'll notice that they've popped up down below, and I'm going to click on this blue Add button, and it's going to import all of those files into my timeline. You'll notice that they were added directly where the last point that I left off was in the timeline, but you can still go ahead and move those around. So let's just take the toolbar to the left here, or you can click the X button to close it all together. What I also like about this timeline idea is that you can shrink the timeline or you can make it bigger by dragging on the toolbar at the bottom, as you just noticed, and then I've made it bigger. So I have all of these files here. It just makes it easier for me to manipulate and move things around. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to do other items to edit my files. So I'm going to go ahead here. I know that that's my introduction video, so I know that that's going to need to come first, right after the title. So I'm just going to move that over after the title, which I know is the pink color. And then I have my two other pictures. I'm going to Command and select both of them and move them above in the B-roll and take them down with the other pictures. Then I can easily move those around after. So now that I have everything in place, I've inserted a title at the top right hand side toolbar. You can do that by clicking on this T icon, which opens up the titles toolbar. And you can, when it opens up, you can just go ahead and select from any of the title options that are there. Adobe Rush does offer this really awesome feature where you can also search for more titles. So if you click on more titles, you can use from a variety. There's 19 pages, and this is where I found the one that I'm using here. So I've created this title, but you'll notice when we click on play, I'll just click on the T to move the toolbar to the right. There we go. When we click on play, we'll notice that the title, it's just a little bit too long in time. So in order to give that sleek look, especially the middle part here, it's way too long. You can take the file and you can actually click and drag it in to reduce the time, make it shorter. We can do the same here. But what I do want to do is I want to make the third portion of my title, I would like to make that actually a little longer for effect. So just conscientious of time for this tutorial, wanted to take a few moments to show you some examples of other types of enhancements you could do besides the basic ones, such as multi-level layering, adding audio, voiceover, B-roll levels, really layering those up for that professional extra touch at the end. And that's it for today. So thank you for following along in this tutorial and looking forward to producing the next one.